everyone! So this video is another tag video. It's the 17 random questions tag, and I think it's going to be a little bit longer than some of the other tags that I've been doing. So I'm going to jump straight into the questions, and I will be reading them from just below the camera, so I will be looking down when I'm reading the questions. I tag absolutely everybody who watches this video, as I always do, and please feel free to leave any comments and video responses below. And that's it, so let's get started. So question 1, how did you get your YouTube username? So unfortunately there's no real interesting story behind my username. It's just Winter because I like winter, and Rose for a couple of reasons I guess, because there is a rose called Renee. I like that. I also like the thought of roses up against a snowy background. Colour-wise, I think the contrast of colours looks really pretty, and I got excited thinking about what my channel would look like, and that's basically how Winter Rose came about. And 84 because Winter Rose was taken, and 84 is the year I was born. If you could change your name to anything, what would it be and why? I have thought about this before, and I kind of like my name. If I was to change it to something else... When I was younger, I don't know why, for whatever reason I wanted to be called Beth. I think there was a girl on some TV series called Earth, or Earth 2, and I'm pretty sure her name was Beth. But now I don't think I would suit that name. Question 3. If you could go back in time and give your younger self advice, what would it be and why? Now I'm fairly happy with my life the way it is, but there are a couple of things that I would probably want to tell my younger self. If I could remember any of the winning lotto numbers, I'd probably want to tell my younger self those numbers. But seriously, I would probably stress that it's not the end of the world, that my score wasn't as high after year 12, and that really you didn't even end up using it anyway. So I would probably give myself advice on my career, what I needed to do to get to where I wanted to be, and also tell myself where I was going to be moving to. That way I could have found a job closer to where I want to move to. Question number 4. How old were you when you first learned to blow a bubblegum bubble? I really can't remember, so I'm not even going to try to guess, and I'll just skip past that question because I've got absolutely no idea. Question number 5. What did you want to be when you were little? So I was kind of a strange kid growing up, and a lot of the things that I wanted to be were quite obscure, yet I was really serious about becoming them. But strangely enough, I didn't become any of these things. But I was never really the kind of kid that said, oh, I want to be Prime Minister, or I want to be a ballerina, or I want to be a tree. I don't know, like, you know how some kids, they just have these strange things. As far back as I can remember, and I'll go in order of all the jobs that I wanted to be. Basically, the first job from primary school, I wanted to be a volcanologist. So it's kind of like a geologist, kind of mixed in bits and pieces of everything, but volcanology is the study of volcanoes, like a geologist more so. And I really seriously looked into it, but it would involve me relocating to another continent, and I don't think I could spend that much time away from my family, so that was crossed off my list. And then I wanted to become a teacher, and I still kind of do want to be a teacher, but you know, it's still something that I could achieve if I wanted to, I guess. But mainly primary school, not high school. I also wanted to be, and this is a strange one, I wanted to join the army, but my focus was more becoming something to do with like special forces, like a sniper. I don't have good enough eyesight, and I'm female, so as far as I know, they don't allow females to become snipers in the army, and I can completely understand why. But yeah, so that never happened, and I've got scoliosis, so it is quite difficult for me to do strenuous physical activity. At least now it is anyway. There is things I can do to help prevent that, but if you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere it is quite difficult to deal with the pain. After that, and this is another strange one again, which is still something that I would love to do, and it's kind of like twofold. Well, there's two jobs, so I'll list them both. The first one's a criminal profiler. So basically you analyse people's personalities, their behaviours, what they would be thinking. You put yourself into their shoes, and more specifically not just with everyday people but with criminals. So you would have to be in the police force and actually study criminology, and you know, that's something that really interests me. I've always had fairly good instincts, and I've always been able to read people quite well as well. So I think that would come in handy, particularly in that kind of role. And it kind of leads into the second thing that I was interested in, would be a private investigator. I love looking into things, I love analysing things. Sometimes I overanalyse things, which isn't a great thing unless you are a private investigator, I guess. But I like digging around for information and finding out things, and I think it's just interesting to watch people and observe people, and yeah, not in a crazy stalker way either. Don't get me wrong, it would be my job. Not like a stalker. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to do. So not your average job list. So volcanologist, sniper, criminal profiler, teacher, which doesn't really fit, does it? Or private investigator. So that's my job list. Number 6, what do you order at Starbucks? I don't drink coffee. I'm a tea person and I don't really go to Starbucks. The last time I went to Starbucks was probably, I think it was in Bali, and that was 2004. So that's like 6 years ago. So I don't really go to Starbucks very often at all. Number 7, what's the hardest you've ever laughed? And as bad as this is, nothing really jumps out. I laugh quite hard a lot of the time. Sometimes so hard that I feel like I'm going to pass out. But nothing actually stands out. So sorry, I can't really answer that because I don't remember. I think I just laugh a lot all the time. Number 8, if you could play any musical instrument, which would it be and why? This is tough because there are so many instruments that I would love to play, like the violin, the cello, the flute, the harp, piano, guitar, all of them. I'd love to play every single musical instrument you could think of. But mainly I think it's a toss-up between guitar and piano. I started to learn guitar and I self-taught myself piano, but very, very basic, nothing major or anything like that. But yeah, I kind of like those two instruments. So one of the two, I really can't pick between them because I do sing, and I think both of those, you could play piano or guitar and sing at the same time and it would sound really good. I guess for like portable kind of instrument, a guitar would probably be a bit more practical to learn and to take around with me, so maybe just a little bit more leaning on the guitar side, but I would still love to be able to play the piano. Number 9, what is your favourite thing to do when you're upset? I think it's kind of strange that they call it a favourite thing to do when you're upset, because I don't really like being upset, and yeah. But the thing I tend to do when I am upset is clean, and then have a shower and sing really loudly in the shower, and that's it. So that's what I do. It's kind of my meditation. Number 10, what is your favourite movie? Now I've got a couple. I mean, there's movies that I like the storylines of, but I don't think they executed them as well as the storyline allowed them to. But my favourite movies, and it's a strange list, I'll go 3 because there are kind of, one's a newer one, one's really old, and one's kind of in between. Fern Gully, I love Fern Gully, which isn't really a movie, it's kind of, well, it's a child's movie, and it's awesome. For those of you that can remember, it's like, yo, my name is Betty. Yeah, anyway, moving on. The second one is Mothman Prophecies. I think that I really liked that movie. I just think that it was different, and there's not many things out there like it. I liked the actors, and I think it was done well. And they pieced it together well, in my mind anyway. And the last one is Avatar, and I know that's quite cliche now, but I think the thought and the depth that went into that movie is absolutely amazing. The storyline, even like everything that they put into that movie makes sense. Scientifically, it's a nice movie to look at and to watch, but there is so much thought that has gone into that movie. So like, it's just, yeah, if you're into that kind of thing, you know, you'll get what I mean. It's just absolutely fantastic, and I really hope they do Avatar 2. Whether it be a prequel or a sequel, I don't care, as long as it's done as well as the first one. And I think that'd be so amazing. But yeah, so that's my favourite movies. Number 11, what is one food that you can't live without? Cheese. And that's pretty bad considering I am lactose intolerant. But I really love cheese. Yeah, it's pretty bad though. Apart from that, okay, something that I'm not banned from eating. I still eat cheese. Passion fruit. Even though apparently I found out recently that I'm semi-allergic to passion fruit and pineapple, and I thought this was normal. And sorry I'm tangenting, but I just thought of it now. I thought it might be interesting for you guys to know, because I thought this was normal. When I eat passion fruit or pineapple, my tongue starts to feel like it's burning really slightly, like prickly. Kind of like when you suck on a Malteser for too long and your tongue starts to prickle. Well, it felt like that, and I started to sweat. Not physically sweat dripping down my face, but I felt sweaty and humid on my face. And apparently that's a mild allergic reaction, which sucks because I really like pineapple and passion fruit. It seems that all the foods I like to eat, I'm not supposed to eat. But yeah, so, snow peas. That's my food, snow peas. I love snow peas. But apparently I'm not meant to eat them either because there's sugar in them. And that particular type of sugar I'm also intolerant to. Sucks to be me. Number 12, what is your favourite dessert? I'm not really complicated when it comes to dessert. I probably enjoy the most, depends actually, depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes pie. Pie is good. Not just apple pie, but berry pie. Mulberry pie is awesome. The best pie ever was apple cake pie, but they discontinued it. Like everything I fall in love with, I have the kiss of death. If I fall in love with a product, they will discontinue it. And apple cake pie, unfortunately, suffered the same fate. Not impressed. But I like pie. And I also like ice cream with Milo. Or ice cream with Cottee's Ice Magic in mint. I haven't tried the honeycomb one, but yeah, I like the mint the best. Number 13, what's your favourite pizza topping? Again, cheese, even though I'm not meant to eat cheese. Or pineapple, again, and that's also something. See the trend here? I like foods that I'm not supposed to like. My body is just asking to be hurt. It's crazy. But yeah, pineapple and cheese. Number 14, would you rather have the superpower to read minds or the superpower to be invisible? This is a tough one. So I think I would like the ability to be invisible, only because I like to watch people. But that's kind of creepy, and that makes me sound like a real sicko. But I really don't mean it like that. It just sort of, yeah, it doesn't sound good, does it? But I think that I would rather be able to read people's minds, as long as I could turn it off and turn it on, so that way I didn't always have to read people's minds, because if I always heard people's minds, I think I would become upset a lot, because I could only imagine that there are some nasty people out there that would be thinking some really horrible things. But I figure at least if I could try to zone in on what people are thinking, I could either stop them from harming themselves or harming other people and do something to prevent that. So I think I would prefer to read people's minds. Number 15, what did you do for your last birthday? So my last birthday was in November and I turned 26, and my family, my partner and my brother's girlfriend, we all went out and we went to bowling in the city, in Darling Harbour in Sydney, and we had a couple of games of bowling, and then we went to a place called Max Brenner, and it's basically like a chocolate cafeteria, and we had chocolate souffle and waffles and chocolate fondue and things like that, and it was a lot of fun, so that was really good. And my partner also won a Mickey Mouse stuffed animal in a skill tester machine, so that was really good as well. Number 16, if you had one personal selfish wish, what would it be and why? Even though it's not completely selfish, it kind of is, so I'm going to say it anyway. I would love to win lotto. But strangely enough, the first thing I would do if I actually won lotto is pay off my parents' house and buy them a new house. And not buy them a new house, but basically give the money to them so they could build their own house. And the last question is, what does OMG HHKP mean to you? Now, there is no way possible I could say that as quick as G6R07 can. But to me, I guess it kind of is like OMG with lots and lots of exclamation marks at the end of it. So that's what OMG HHKP means to me. That wasn't too slow, that was alright. But anyway, that's it. So some of those questions were quite interesting, to say the least, and quite obscure. And like always, I rambled a lot. So sorry about that, but I hope it wasn't too boring. Feel free to video response your replies below. I would really, really like to see them or hear them, or both. But yeah, that's it. So I'll see you guys again really, really soon. Bye!